everybody, Leon Kish is here. Today I want to teach you some camera basics, and these are shutter speed, aperture and ISO. It's very important you to know these things, because if you learn this, it's gonna work for you better. You're going to have much better photos, and you're going to be in full control of your camera. So let's start with the shutter speed. I'm going to make 2 photos here, and you're gonna watch the difference. I'm going to set the shutter speed at 1/16 of a second. I'm raising the shutter speed to 3/20th of a second. So as you can see, one picture has motion blur and the other is sharp. That's because at the faster shutter speed, the shutter is opening and closing faster and lets smaller amount of light, and it freezes the photo. And the other lets in more light over more time, and you can paint with a flashlight, or you can make the waterfall looks like it's frozen, or you can take pictures in big crowds as the people are going everywhere around, and they are all blurry. So this is a nice thing to know, and you can make different photos. Now we are going to aperture. So let's talk about the aperture. The aperture we use for 2 things: to control the background and to let more light in the camera. So for example, if we want to take a landscape shot, we're gonna put in like aperture 8, 11 or higher number, and to be everything in focus from the foreground to the background, because the light is going through a tiny little hole. And if we want to take a portrait shot, we want that background to be blurry. We want to isolate the subject from all the things around, and then your focus is going on the person you are shooting. So the second thing, we use the aperture for letting more light in the camera or less. So if we are shooting in a dark place like indoors or church or forest, we gonna put aperture at lower numbers, like 2.8, 1.4, 1.8. If we make the aperture wide open, we are letting more light in the camera, and we can use higher shutter speeds. That means if we don't have enough light in some places, we can make sharp images by opening the lens. As you can see on the first image, I used f11, and on the picture you can see the foreground and the background, everything sharp. On the other picture I made the lens wide open to let more light in, and so I could use a higher shutter speed, and everything was blurry. Background was blurry, foreground was blurry, just me where the focus was, I was sharp. So I'm gonna show you what is that aperture, what is that moving part in the lens. I think you just saw some aperture blades right there. And the last thing I want to teach you today is ISO. The ISO is your image sensor sensitivity to light. If you don't have enough light, for example, you're shooting in a church or indoors or in a forest, and you get blurry and dark pictures, you can raise your image sensor's sensitivity so you could make a better picture, not so dark, and you can raise your shutter speed and you can make some sharper images. But as you are raising your ISO, you are getting grainy, noisy pictures. So you have to make balance between all these three things. If you learn these three things by practicing and looking at your pictures quality, you're gonna be a better photographer and your pictures are going to be better and better. So if I helped you today to make better pictures, if you learned something, don't forget to push that like button. If you want to see content like this, if you are into photography, push that subscribe to see more upcoming videos. And yeah, see you till my next video. Bye. Between these three things, if you are going to